What's going on, y'all? So listen. Okay, bitch, Shonda, I see. Peter, I see what y'all trying to do. That was real cute. Okay, real fucking cute what y'all did at the end there. I'm here for it. Okay, because when Scandal went off, the little commercial preview, they was like, "Hey, gladiators, you need to tune in to the end of How to Get Away with Murder." And I was like, "For fucking what?" Oh, excuse me. Oh, God damn. Excuse me, y'all. Rude as shit. Couldn't keep that in. I ain't even finna edit it out. We real up in this bitch. Glad I ain't got shit. Ooh. Nose tickling. Am I the only one who sneezes in threes? Hopefully that's it. But usually, majority of the time, I sneeze in threes. It's weird. But anyway, what that mean? So I was like, okay, so what us gladiators, y'all back on this gladiator shit. So what the fuck we gotta look forward to? Bitch, that was cute. That was cute. All right, I was sitting here like, bitch. Okay, I ain't been hyped about Scandal girl like that in a minute. So that's okay, moving on. So we pick up where we left off last week. They go back to Isaac. Remember, we found him up in his office, sitting there looking like he had the shakes, just sweating and shit. We was like, is the nigga drunk? Is he high as fuck? Which one is he? So we see him coming out the courtroom. He's sitting in his car in the parking garage, and he's just going, in his feelings. He's crying. He's beating the steering wheel, and he's just like, I can't believe that they're doing this. They're bringing up his daughter's death and all this stuff. Mind you, the anniversary of her death is coming up soon. We didn't realize that until later on in the episode when he said this is the 3rd year that she's been dead. And I'm like, this is fucked up. Okay? And so bitch, the way he pulled up out, see, this is what makes me nervous about driving. The way he whooped that car out of that goddamn parking space and then drove the fuck out, bitch. I said, you really trying to kill somebody. He go get some burgers and fries from this burger truck, okay, food truck. And then she was like, the girl was like, anything else? He was like, could you put that in 4? I was like, uh-oh, what that mean? Bitch, soon as he got back to his office, he threw the burgers and fries in the goddamn garbage. I said, first of all, I don't even eat burgers like that no more. But you literally just wasted some money. You could have at least got something that you was going to actually eat, because when you wake up or whatever from the little high that you have, 9 out of 10, you going to have the fucking munchies, bitch. You ain't have to throw it up in a garbage can like that. It's people out here in third world countries that's starving for food, and you fucking wasting it. Bitch, that pissed me off. But anyway, he took some pills out the fucking foil paper. It was like at least 5 or 6 of them hoes up in there. He took a paperweight that was on his table and he just started smashing that shit. Smashing that shit. Now he was sitting there debating, should I go ahead and do this shit? I know I shouldn't, but it's been a rough fucking goddamn day. Okay? I shouldn't. I'm not. Bitch, yes the fuck I am. I said, damn. We gonna sniff it all up. Okay? And he just, passed the fuck out. This is when Annalise come to the door knocking, trying to see if he there. We see him having glimpse of a flashback of his daughter on the floor. First we see the toilet flushes, and then we see the daughter on the floor. And it's like, oh, so let me piece these pictures back together. It brought up a whole bunch of shit. And you know what? I feel like because the daddy is dirty as shit, Jorge, in this custody battle, so he's going, and that's what they do. That is their job. Defense attorneys and stuff like that. That is their job. The plaintiffs. That's these lawyers' jobs to find all types of dirt and shit like that. But see, Jorge and his people are extremely dirty, and I feel like they knew that the anniversary of that girl's death was coming up, and they did this on purpose. They tried to set him up to fail on purpose. Push him to the edge just to show that he ain't worth a damn. Okay. Later, we see Bonnie meeting up with Frank, trying to get some information about what's going on. Don't contact Laurel. Don't contact the mama yet. We just got to see what's happening. I'm going to go talk to Denver, snoop around all that shit and see what's going on. The kids, meanwhile, are still at Oliver and Connor's apartment. Asher then turned into, Benny Crocker, he's Benny Homemaker, cooking croissants, Annalise calling on the phone trying to see what's going on. Because she wants them to write briefs or opening statements for the case that she's gonna do. She's still gonna take the Leahy senior case or whatever. Mind you, Laurel said she took her mama to the airport, sent her back home to Mexico. I said, oh, so she back in Mexico? She not over there in France? You know, woo woo, woo wee, bonjour, allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Oh, you too. No, let me stop playing. Oui, oui, si, muy bien. ¿Cómo está? ¿Y tú? I know a little something about bitch. Basic as fuck. Let me stop fucking with y'all. Y'all like, bitch, why is you cracking up? Because, bitch, I crack myself up. If y'all won't laugh, I'm going to laugh. Any fucking way. I find me funny sometimes. So, there you go. You gotta laugh. Anyway, so Annalise is rude as fuck. Annalise got them doing all this stuff. And I don't even blame her. She be hanging up the phone right dead in their face. Because Isaac finally came to the door. This is the next day. He talked about something. He was over at his girlfriend's house. That's why he didn't answer the door. They going out, talking and stuff. And he just setting up. And, he was like, at first he was trying to make it seem like he was at a girlfriend's house. And Annalise is just, talking to him or whatever. Then he breaks down and just say, you know what, I lied to you, okay? She said, I know that the case against you, the DA that's setting it up to make it seem that, you'd had something to do with this, they're playing your ass, okay? Don't believe it. Don't give into it. And this one made him break and say, you know what? I lied to you. I wasn't at a girlfriend's. I was high as shit, okay? That's what it is. He's hating himself because of the way that it's making him feel. All this stuff is bringing up all these emotions. It's going on 3 years since Stella passed away, and he just didn't know how to deal with it. Okay, so I do appreciate the fact that, given that he is supposed to be in sobriety and he's supposed to be her counselor, her therapist, and at least then turn her back on him, okay, at this very moment. Because he did reveal the truth. He was getting high. He slipped up. Well, he revealed part of the truth, okay? So they sitting there, they're going to this diner, reminiscing. She's saying how she got hooked on vodka and stuff in undergrad. How she never got into cocaine and stuff like that, even though back in the 80s and shit when she was in school, they used to have cocaine flowing like water around. He said how he didn't get hooked in undergrad, but he went to school, then he went to New York, he got hooked on some shit. And like 10 years later, he had lost just about everything. He wasn't talking to his family. He was in some store or whatever, and it was this girl arguing with the clerk trying to return some chips, saying that the chips was already open. And, he was getting annoyed and frustrated, but he seen the girl turn around, and it was Jacqueline. And that's when he realized he needed something else. He needed more in his life, and they got together, helped him get clean, and they had Stella and all that shit. Okay, this is cute. We move on from that little conversation to Bonnie. Bonnie go to this dude. I'm going to call him Sean because I think that was his name on Nip Tuck. Go look at Nip Tuck. He was not Christian's. He was Christian's real son. And he thought he was the other dude's real son. He was Christian's real son, okay? But him, we're going to call him that. He has grown into... he has the face for if he was to do drag, it'll work because it's somewhat masculine down at the bottom, but his eyes area is kind of feminine like, Go back and look at what I'm talking about. So Bonnie is still working with Annalise and especially trying to get this case against Isaac dismissed or trying to find out what they're trying to do. And dude is working on the case. So she trying to come in. Hey boy, how you doing? So this case that you doing, let me look over it and see if everything is all to the good. He was like, let me get you some drinks. Okay, well, let me do this and we can get them drinks. And he was like, I mean, all right, you do what you got to do. And so I said, Bonnie, you a little bit too free, too friendly, too with me. Okay, so I would have been on my toes with that too. At this moment in time, Connor is trying to dictate everything that goes on with this case, with Nate's case, and the kids just in their own world because Ash over here cooking, you know, and then Frank gets on the phone calling Oliver trying to get him to hack into something. And when he said that, Laurel took the phone. They was like, bitch, don't hack into nothing. Don't make shit worse. Just leave stuff alone. Okay. I'm trying to get my son. Bonnie did tell him, don't tell her about the email. About the photo or whatever. Don't tell her nothing. And so he said, okay, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be chill and all that fuck. Later on, Frank reveals to Bonnie that he hacked into the lady's Laurel's mama's phone log or whatever and found out that she had been calling Jorge every day that whole fucking week. And she was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure that she working with him. So at this point in time, he trying to find some evidence to get as to reason why. He hacked Dominic's phone, he can't find nothing. He hacked her phone, found out that she's talking to Jorge, so this automatically make you think negatively. And the whole time he thinking one way and it's different. And we still don't get the full story. We get this situation with Nate and his father. Annalise, Nate, and Nate Jr. They're sitting up there. Shut the fuck, Brittany. Okay, let me just tell y'all this. We supposed to be getting a fucking snowstorm, okay? That's what's supposed to be happening. And I had said we getting real fucking snow, bitch. Like inches. We supposed to be getting feet of snow out this motherfucker. And usually most time when they say we supposed to get that, they shut they just say fuck it. Most of the private schools get closed. But they done put out an alert saying that all CPS public schools closed too. Okay, fine. Fuck bitch. The city of Chicago only shut down one time the whole downtown shut the fuck down. And that was a few years ago when it snowed so damn bad people was getting caught up on Lakeshore Drive and shit like that. So, motherfuckers want to come at me or whatever because, oh, so now we getting mad because I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Okay, that's my whole thing is if they shut the fuck down, bitch, shut everything down. Okay, we probably ain't gonna get that much fucking snow, but bitch, I want a fucking day off tomorrow. I'm tired. Okay, that's where I'm coming from, Brittany. Ugh, don't try to do me. But anyway, y'all, stressed up to the fucking max. Because if I go to work tomorrow, I ain't doing shit. Okay, I'm gonna be on the internet just watching stuff on TV. But anyway, moving on. Nate Daddy. So, Annalise was like, you doing good. He do look a little bit better, but it's Glenn Turner. Let me tell you something. He is scaring me. I really want him to go to the doctor and get himself checked out because I don't know if that's makeup or what's going on. The red veins in his eyes, the yellowness in his eyes. I'm like, baby, do you got jaundice? Please go check your liver. What's happening? Is your kidneys cooperating with you correctly? It was just causing me great concern. And I'm talking about the actual actor. Okay? But he's reiterating what happened and how he got up in the criminal system. He was 26 years old. He was in and out. He was trying to, get food for his. He used to be a boxer. He was trying to get food for his family, so he did what he had to do. If he couldn't find a job, he stole shit. And so one time he got in jail, then he got released, and I guess he violated a probation or whatever. Each and every time he got in jail, he was a target. So this one time he was in there, this guy was taunting him about him being a boxer. He swung on him, and the daddy swung back and lost it and beat that motherfucker ass. He said he felt his skull crush under his, his fist. He was provoked, and it was damn near self defense. And also, you can put in the fact that it was a mental thing because he thought at that moment he was in solitary confinement for a couple of months. That's what he thought he was in there. Then kind of found out he was in there for a whole year. So already last week Annalise was already trying to use the mental illness plea because of the fact that being in solitary confinement, it plays with the mind, okay? And then you got this happening, and that's the reason why he snapped the way he did. And ever since he got checked out, he's been doing better. That's what Nate was saying. So they get ready to go to the court to hear the case or whatever and present the trial. Mind you, Annalise told them, fuck whatever y'all talking about in these little opening statement. I will wing it myself, okay? And right when she was about to give her little opening statement, the prosecutor on the other side gonna say something. Well, we got it from the Supreme Court of Philadelphia that they gonna hear the case, and they just want you to write it up and give them a briefing of it. I said that's fucked up. So you just want to take the credit for it and let Annalise do all the work? No, bitch. Okay, mind you, her and Annalise, she and her feelings. She's talking to Isaac. They doing a little dinner date. They little morning breakfast date or whatever at the diner. It's good. It's keeping both of them kind of focused and off of the bullshit for the moment. All right. And he trying to tell her, so you just gonna take it. This ain't the Annalise I know. So of course she gonna do what she gotta do. She gets Bonnie. Bonnie is in the office and she talking to Ty. She's still chatting him up. And see, this is what Bonnie fucked up at. Bonnie smiled at that motherfucker. I said, bitch, when he later on he gonna say, I know you fucking playing games. I looked at the goddamn information. Like you said, it's not enough to charge Isaac with anything. That's understandable. But I wouldn't take your word for shit, because now I know that you really still with Annalise Keaton, because when you came up in here, you was smiling at my ass. He said, I found it weird and creepy, but bitch, I still played along with it. So, we gonna take care of this shit, and I'm gonna take it my own way, all right? And at this point, Bonnie had went over there to tell Annalise what was happening. And Annalise was like, you gonna have to bury this shit with Isaac, because later on, Isaac tells her the truth, all right? Bonnie had brought some papers over there with the evidence against him about the daughter's death. And they said that she had an overdose on this drug called oxycodone, better known as on the streets as K-Pax. Now, when Annalise and um, Isaac was sitting down initially, and he was telling her what he went and got to get high. It wasn't heroin, it was K-Pax. He said it's an opioid, okay? And when that happened, so Annalise looking like, damn, I heard that name before. She's putting the pieces together, and she comes over there, and she was like, bitch, what the fuck happened? You gave your daughter K-Pax? You gave your daughter this drug? Come to find out, he basically lied about being clean for 20 some years. He was still using back then. Mind you, the daughter only been dead for 3 years. And he was like, I told her about my struggles about with drugs and how we can help do to you and all this stuff. She was failing school. She was depressed. She wasn't feeling right. Next thing you know, I come in and I see that she took all of my whole stash. Okay. And on the crime scene, it made it seem like, he did stage the crime scene, come to find out. He tried to revive her. That's what the 15 minutes came in at. First, that's what they was thinking about. They was thinking that it was just because he was trying to do CPR on her, and that's why it took him so long to call the cops. But no, he tried to do CPR on her. Then he realized what drugs that she took, and it was his stash. So instead, he flushed his stuff down the toilet, took her phone, typed a text to the mom saying, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. Wiped the phone off and put it in her hand to make it seem as if she's the one that sent that text. That is the last text that Jacqueline ever got from her daughter, and that ain't even from her daughter. Okay, so he has to live with that for the rest of his life, and that's what was going on. And this is why Annalise was feeling bad for him. So she was like, Bonnie, you got to get Denver to, stop this case. And so, because that little dude called Bonnie out on her bullshit, Bonnie was just freaking out. She thought she was finna get caught up in shit, but she went into Denver's office. She shook that shit up and she said, here, listen to this. That phone call, that conversation that she taped, she played it for him and she said, let me tell you something. I got a whole bunch of shit like this recorded, and if something happened to me, because I know you want to kill me. I know if I come up missing. I know if something happened to me. If you want to do any of that, you think about doing any of that, all this stuff gonna be released. He was like, bitch, you bluffing. She said, that's a theory that you don't want to take a chance on. Now, what I need you to do is drop all the charges against Isaac Roy. And eventually, it do happen. Okay? So, when this happened, we get this whole thing with Laura, the kids back in the apartment. And, she gets a phone call saying that she's granted custody. Not custody, but visitation for a little bit. And the mom was coming back into town. uh Frank went with her to the hospital, but the mom was just looking at Frank like, bitch, I don't like you. She just don't like Frank. She really don't like him. And I think because she know Frank gonna call her out on her bullshit. And so they get into the hospital. The dad won't come there. And remember that Frank told Bonnie that he believes the mom and Jorge are working together because she was calling him every day that week. The mom literally said, I don't know what's going on. I was calling him all day, every day this week to see what was going on, if he was going to come up here and all this stuff, but no response. Okay, so that refutes that theory. So we still don't know if she's working with Jorge or if something else is going on. Who is she exactly working with? Was she working with Dominic? Was something she working with Wes? What's happening? We don't know. Um, Laurel gets to hold her son. She names him Christoph. Um, well, Christopher, because Wes' name was Christoph. And then we see Isaac at the diner. He's like very cheerful, taking pictures of his food, sending it to Annalise. And she's waiting in the court conference room to be heard by the Supreme Court judges. And she called Nate, telling him what's going on and all of that. And so later, Nate comes up there, and we see Annalise coming out. And at first, it looked like she was having good news, but she don't have good news. They lost the case, okay? And so the kids are like, I'm done with this, whatever. Um, Annalise was trying to go over there to Isaac's house because Bonnie had told her that the charges were dropped. Trying to tell him the good news, bitch. And she telling him and all that shit. And next thing you know, he was like, yes, yes, Cole, that's what's up, that's what's up. And she was like, okay, I was like, we ain't finna have this happening, right? We want Annalise to get some, but we don't want her to get none this way, because I don't want her to get that junkie love, okay? And they was about to kiss, and Annalise paused it for a minute and was like, bitch, you high as hell. You know what? You need some fucking help. And then at this moment in time, Isaac wanted to get all mad and angry, like, bitch, you the reason why I'm in this shit. I said, to be quite honest, you can't really blame it on Annalise because you're supposed to have self-control. But your your ex-wife did say that Annalise was a trigger for you. And that's what was going on. You should have ended it, regardless of what Annalise tried to say. You should have ended it when you initially started to end it. And Annalise, bitch, you should have ended it too. Okay, when he was trying to end it, when he said that you was a trigger for him and he was a trigger for you. Okay, both of y'all was wrong. Both of y'all up here trying to act like victims. Both of them calling each other out on their bullshit. And at this point in time, Annalise was over it. She was like, Jacqueline, your husband, your ex is over here relapsed in the motherfucker. Come get this bitch and roll the fuck out. I said, oh, well, that's over and done with. So, at this point, Bonnie is scared to be in the house by herself. So she said, Frank, come on over here and stay with me. Okay, fine. And so, Connor, um, because they was like, bitch, you might as well just go back to school, okay? Since you want to act like a lawyer, going back to school. He said, well, shit, I might as well. I could take summer courses and I can catch up to y'all and be a 3L. Okay, cool. I mean, it's going to be hard, trying to study and plan a wedding at the same time. Here go Oliver. Oh my God, a wedding. We're going to get married. You the one that called it off, bitch. He was like, I know someone called it back home. Oh my God, we're getting married. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Okay. So at this time, Michaela had left. Michaela was like, bitch, I ain't finna give up. Y'all some quitters, but I'm not. So after that, what wound up happening is Frank had went over there. He can't figure out what the fuck is going on. He done found the mama and was like, so what's the connection? Showed her the picture of her and West, and that's all that we got from that scene. Then we see Michaela go over there to Annalise's place, like, look, you ain't gotta put this stuff up. We can take it to the Supreme Court. I was like, they ain't finna hear nothing, okay? It's over and it's done with. And we talked about the Supreme Court of the United States, okay? Ruth Bader and them, all right? And she was like, they're not gonna hear nothing. It was like, yes, they do. Like 2% of the cases get heard and all this stuff, and you just have to have a connect to get in there. And I know somebody. Bitch, next thing you know, we see this reminiscent of the first episode when they get into the classroom when Annalise was walking over there and we seen her behind walking to the back of her walking to the chalkboard, and she's writing on the chalkboard how to get away with murder, right? So we hear this person introducing somebody and they giving all her credentials and shit. We see this flowing hair. We recognize the bounce, okay? You know Annalise got a waddle because she don't know how to walk in her heels. That's her legendary bounce. And Olivia, she got a bounce when the hair just bounce, 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 okay? Everything. You know, like bad bitch coming through, move over, make way. All right. Next thing you know, before they say Olivia, it's Olivia, she writing on the board how to survive a scandal. I said, bitch, that's corny as fuck, but I like it. I fucking like it. She turned around. Annalise was coming up into the little lecture hall. She trying to sit down and listen. I said, set this shit up for March 1st, okay? That's how the episode ended. It was cute. I like the way that they did it. It was simple. It wasn't nothing outrageous to get them to connect like that. A little far-fetched, but okay. You know, so we just gonna eat the shit up and deal with it, all right? But that was How to Get Away Murder. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'll see y'all later. Peace. No, Married to Medicine tomorrow. Get a break, okay? So, yeah, there's that. Peace out.